Welcome to the Pro Wrestling Top 5. I'm your host, Rich Twilling, all the way over in Naples, Italy. My good friend and co-host, business colleague, Shawn Valentino, is in beautiful sunny Southern California 9 hours before me. So today's Top 5 is dedicated to, of course, the Greatest Royal Rumble, which took place yesterday. I'm in Naples, so I'm 9 hours ahead. It took place yesterday in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. Huge show in terms of significance, cultural significance for the company, a big payday for WWE. And a lot of people thought of this too as WrestleMania 34 Part B, if you will. And we're going to go over the top 5 moments. I'm getting right into it. We're going to get in and out of here quickly, ladies and gentlemen. I've got a timer going, and we're doing this in one take. So if I drop my beer bottle or if a bird flies in the window or something like that, it's going to stay in the take. So that'd be fantastic. Anyway, number 5, Titus O'Neil. This may have been one of the funniest things I've seen, not only on a wrestling show, but a show altogether. In case you missed it, he came out, I think it was at number 39 in the Greatest Royal Rumble match. And he just absolutely biffed it. He tripped and he slid and fell underneath the ring. And Corey Graves and Michael Cole were laughing, and Graves was laughing for a good 3 or 4 minutes. And anytime I hear somebody laugh, I can't stop laughing either. And so that was just absolutely hilarious. A moment that will live forever in infamy. Titus O'Neil will never live that one down. The Shockmaster can rest a little bit easy. I'm guessing that Vince McMahon also thought it was funny, given the fact that he must have okayed all those replays right afterward. So Titus O'Neil, though, good guy, great ambassador for the company, very handsome, articulate, intelligent guy that's gonna, if he wants, I think he's gonna be with the company for a long time to come in that ambassador type of role. And all this charitable work too. So we're just poking a little fun at Titus, and I'd be remiss if I didn't try to give him a couple new nicknames. Like maybe Titus World Slip and Slide, or Titus World Glide, or maybe once he was underneath the ring, he could be Titus World Hide, something like that. No, Titus, you're a good dude, and I'm sure you'll handle this with flying colors. So, but I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about it. Number 4, let's get into the show now, and John Cena versus Triple H. Here's a match that has the kind of big star power that I think they really wanted on a show like this. And 2 of the best of all time, let's face it. Triple H, multi-time champion. John Cena, the record holder for WWE championships. You have 2 legit first ballot Hall of Famers here in the twilight of their career, but they can still go. They main evented WrestleMania 12 years ago. And 12 years later, they're still doing it, and they're doing it well, even though they're, like I said, on the tail end of their careers. But the fact that they had this this match on this show was very important. And I thought they both went out there and gave us a very old school feel type of big time match. And I love it when they go old school with certain things. And I really loved this match. Number 3, we're staying on the show. Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns in the cage. Reminded me a little bit of Brock Lesnar versus Bill Goldberg at WrestleMania 33. A match that I thought was very well done. That match only lasted maybe 5-6 minutes or something like that. But they crammed a lot in there. And with those 2 guys, it worked out really well. I thought this, obviously it was a little bit longer, but I thought in the same vein, it worked out really, really well. There's a lot of violence and everything that goes with being in a cage. And then you also had the controversial finish, a very cool finish, by the way, with Reigns being speared through the cage. But controversial in that, who hit the floor first, what's considered hitting the floor. I like how they kept that air of suspense, because moving forward now, we're gonna wonder if Reigns gets another match, which I assume he will. We all assume he's gonna end up being champion at some point. But, now and we'll mention Braun Strowman later, but who knows at this point. But I think that for a Universal Championship match, I thought it was very, very good and more entertaining than their WrestleMania main event. Number 2, I'm going to go with the Royal Rumble match itself. The Greatest Royal Rumble, that's what they named the event after, because 50 men entered this match. I'm gonna go through a few performances that I thought just really stole the night. Daniel Bryan, of course, entering at number one and lasting an hour and 5 minutes, something like that. That's kind of what I expected. Going in, I was thinking Daniel Bryan for the win or Braun Strowman for the win, with Daniel Bryan lasting a long time. So predictable, yes, but that's what happened, and I thought it played out really well. Furthermore, within the Rumble itself, I thought the timing was really well done. Meaning, when sometimes there's people in the ring and you want certain other people to come out at that time, and I thought they did a good job with that. I thought the ring was set up well the match was set up well for when people did come out. Like when, for example, Kevin Owens came out and three guys were all laid out in corners, and so he could do his running cannonball move. Just stuff like that. I thought that was really, really laid out very well. Nice job with the debuts. A couple or surprises in debuts. Rey Mysterio being the main one, and like lasting, doing a nice job in the match. And then you had a couple of the big NXT guys, which allowed Braun Strowman for him to eliminate those big guys, just really cement his status as the big man on the Monday Night Show at this time, or even in the whole company. I mean, Braun Strowman, let's face it, is a future champion, and that could happen pretty soon. Actually, I could see that happening soon, with maybe him taking the title off of Lesnar before Reigns does, or instead of Reigns. A couple of good performances. I mentioned Bryan. I mentioned Rey Mysterio. Braun Strowman, of course. I thought Strowman did a great job being the Superman, but also selling a little bit. He walked that fine line very, very well. And then Roderick Strong stood out to me, just in there for a short time, but really did some things that probably opened up a lot of eyes. And so overall, just a very fun match. And I like the 90-second intervals for the 50 men. And the thing it progressed nicely. I didn't feel there was any real lulls or slow spots or anything like that. So, Greatest Royal Rumble match itself, number 2 on my list. And number 1, I'm going to go with the overall significance of this event. I mentioned this already, but this is World Wrestling Entertainment. And, of course, with the internet years ago, and then the WWE Network going on, 5-6 years now, they reach everybody all over the world, and they have fans in countries that they probably don't even know are countries. But to go do an event in the Middle East of this magnitude, I mean, this had a WrestleMania feel to it, from the stadium, the look, the set, the card, the crowd, the promotion of the event. Everything about this was WrestleMania-esque. And then and then you had, and I didn't mention it yet, but you had an AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura match. You had the Undertaker in a casket match. You had the aforementioned John Cena versus Triple H match in the Royal Rumble. I mean, just so much on this card, and it was a big deal. And I mentioned the controversy about the women. I was told that they are being paid very well to stay home. So, and a lot of people have complained that maybe, why is WWE doing this in the midst of a women's revolution? But the paycheck. Let's face it, guys. I heard anywhere between $150 and $200 million. That's money that you can't turn down. But not only that, but going to a country in the Middle East culturally. I mean, this is a big deal to establish those relations. I guess I heard a rumor that they signed a 10-year deal. So I think a lot of people assume maybe one show a year, but I heard that they're going to go back later this year. And that's not confirmed or anything like that. That's just a rumor that I heard. But just a big deal, big show. If you saw the pictures on WWE's Instagram with Vince McMahon, Shane McMahon, I think Taker, and Angle, and Triple H, all those guys having dinner with the Saudi Arabian dignitaries. I mean, stuff like that. It's a big deal, and you can expect to see more shows like this in the future, not only in Saudi Arabia, but in other countries as well, because let's face it, WWE they're worldwide, and they want to not only reach people via their television screens and their computers, but they want to do so in live action as well. So that is about it. Top 5 did a pretty good job on the time too. I want to thank everybody for watching. Make sure and catch Shawn Valentino's top 5 as well. We'll be back doing the show together like we usually do, but there'll be a lot of this as well. So you'll get a little bit of him and me together, and then doing the show solo just because I'm overseas. Hey, got to pay the bills, right? So anyway, if you like what we're doing, we would always appreciate a like and a subscribe. And like I said, make sure you catch what Shawn Valentino was doing. And I want to give a quick shout out to my good friends Paul Brickman and Grace Kelly in Peoria, Illinois. Hi, guys. And that'll do it for me. So, Rich Twilling, Naples, Italy, thank you for watching. This has been the Pro Wrestling Top 5.